Thank you, Maria. So this meeting is being audio and video recorded. I am going to read the script for remotely conducted and/or hybrid open meetings. Members of the public wishing to participate in the meeting must use their full name for Zoom access. If full names are not used, the people will not be allowed to participate in the discussion. The town reserves the right to remove any member from the public of the meeting who doesn't use a full name or acts inappropriately. We're using Zoom. As a preliminary matter, this is Denise Kronow, Chair of the Finance Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Joe Grouse.
Here.
Jeremy Bloomer.
Here.
Stephen Morey.
Here.
Thank you. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. And we have Maria Basheva.
Here.
Brian Turbot.
In attendance.
Thank you. Okay, good afternoon. This open meeting of the Finance Committee is being conducted remotely pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Act of 2023. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. We're convening by video conference. Please note it's being recorded. Don't screen share. And I will, some ground rules. I'll introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude, I'll ask not today, this is an info session, so I'll skip this part. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps to generate accurate minutes. Okay, and for items of public comment, I will afford public comment to the members that have joined via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through me. And we are not taking any votes, so no sense in talking about roll call. I'm not even going to ask for an approval of the agenda because we don't have a quorum. So I will open it up to public comment for any topic that is not on the agenda. And just as a reminder, the agenda is that the Finance Committee members who are here are here to offer some insight into the recommendations we made that have been published in the warrant for annual town meeting 2023, May 6th at 8:30 a.m. in the Mary P. Walker Auditorium at the high school. There we go. So any public comments? Seeing no hands raised, I will then open it up to anyone who would like to get an understanding of why we made the recommendations we made about any of the articles. Okay then, so with that, if there's no questions specifically about any of the any of the motions that we made on our articles.
Denise, I'm sorry, I was looking for the raised hand and couldn't find it. I apologize.
Okay, that's right.
We had a discussion at the NPNEDC meeting yesterday about the fertilizer article.
Yes.
And we were trying to understand what the outcome would be with the previous home rule petition being sent and not acted on, and then your recommendation to also send this home rule petition. Can you elaborate on what you expect the outcome to be if it passes the way you asked?
Yeah, thanks, Mary. This is because it hasn't been acted on yet. It had to be, if you will, refreshed, so it will stay in front of the state legislature. And the outcome would be the same as what we had recommended last year. So it was to enable the extension of the committee that was going to look at best practices, putting together with UMass, I forget which UMass, maybe Stephen or Joe could jump in on this one, or Libby. But anyway, it was really to take last year's and refresh it, because that's what was needed in order to keep it in front of the state legislature. And I'm really looking forward to Libby correcting me if I got that wrong.
Well,
So.
I was just going to say that what actually happened last year was there was a citizen warrant article that was seeking, I was trying to look through it for last year's warrant. I have to look for it in a minute, but the citizen warrant article was seeking to ban fertilizer altogether. And
Right.
The Finance Committee had a motion that is basically what warrant article 86 is.
86.
That motion was not adopted. The citizen article was adopted. And the citizen article was very much. Yeah, thank you, Maria. That might have to be removed. Thank you. The citizen warrant article was forwarded to the legislature, but it is not believed that it is going to pass because fertilizer bans in the state aren't allowed in individual municipalities. So this year, when the select board was putting the warrant together, it came up, should we resubmit the article that was the citizen article that was approved last year, and the board did not, while they didn't resubmit it, they did send a letter of support for it. And they put in what you see as Article 86. So this is actually a new home rule petition.
Thank you, Libby.
So if Article 86 is adopted by town meeting, and if the state legislature declines to adopt last year's petition to ban fertilizer, then is the result that the NPNEDC would be tasked in a 2-year time frame with coming up with new fertilizer regulations?
I think that actually the health department would come up with them, and they would be, I'm just trying to quickly, I haven't thought about this lately, so I'm trying to read through it. They may have some kind of endorsement by the planning commission, but the planning commission wouldn't be charged with actually preparing them. They would be prepared by health department and or natural resources.
Okay, because we caught the reference in the Finance Committee motion is a reference to our Enabling Act for the extension of the deadline. And so we weren't sure exactly what was being expected of the NPNEDC from this.
I think it's only the, I guess it is the adoption.
It's the adoption of any rule, regulation, or bylaw relative to nutrient management and fertilizer guidelines adopted by the town of Nantucket under Chapter 5561 in the Acts of 1973 shall be extended for a period of 2 years after the effective date of this act. Such rule, regulation, or bylaw should not be less restrictive than the regulations adopted by the Department of Agricultural Resources under Section 1 of Chapter 262. It shall be done in conjunction with the University of Massachusetts Amherst Extension to ensure regulations relative to plant nutrients are consistent with the program's published informational education. It doesn't say NP and EDC anywhere in this motion.
It doesn't, but that's what Chapter 561 of the Acts of 1973 is, I believe. That's what
Okay.
the enabling legislation. Mary, I'll find out from town council exactly what the planning commission needs to do, but I think it's more of a symbolic, not symbolic, but technical requirement of adoption of regulations, or perhaps it's endorsement. I honestly don't recall exactly what it was, but I will find out and get back to you.
Great, thank you.
Not my favorite article, Mary, is all I can tell you. It's very confusing. Are there any other questions? Okay, then, in which case, I'm not even going to ask. Our date of our next meeting will be Tuesday, May 2nd at 1 p.m. At that point, we will require a quorum because we'll be going through the technical amendments just before the town meeting. I'm not going to ask for committee reports. There won't be any other business. And I'm not even going to ask for adjournment because we're not a quorum to adjourn. So I am just going to close the meeting and thank everyone who attended. And I wish you all enjoy the nice sunny day that's outside.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thanks,
Denise.
Denise. See everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.